that come every year right here off the beach. You can walk into like less than 3 feet of water, snorkel around, literally hundreds and hundreds of these guys. They come in to spawn, and we don't really know if the same sharks come back every year. We don't know if sharks that are born here come back here. We don't know really much at all about the gene flow or the population dynamics of these animals. And we also don't know if a female can be impregnated by multiple males. So this graduate student is trying to understand some of these paternity issues, basically using DNA fingerprints, the same sorts of techniques that you hear about in court trials. That's what he's using to identify the parents of the offspring that these ladies have produced.
Do they have the whole genome? Do they have the whole genome?
No, they don't have the whole genome for these. But you don't need the whole genome to do a lot of genetic studies. So there are certain areas of our genome that we know are rapidly evolving, and those areas you can specifically target and amplify without knowing sort of what the rest of it is, and look at the banding patterns basically in that rapidly evolving one. Because different individuals in those really rapidly evolving sections of the genome should have sort of unique fingerprints. The areas of our genomes that are much more conserved for more core biological processes aren't going to have that many differences. You know, ours could be exactly the same, but in these fast evolving regions, we'd have a pretty unique stamp, and that's what he's looking at for these guys. Yeah. Both of you, either of you. Ladies first. There you go.
Just kind of off topic. Is there only one like small shark in here? Is that like native, or is that a different species?
It's a fish right here.
Oh, is that just a fish?
There's a fish. There was also a swell shark in here at one point, who I don't see here anymore either. You'll find lots of random things that may or may not necessarily be related to a given experiment that happen to get tossed into one tank or another. So a lot of lab classes will, ask some of the divers, hey, if you see this, I can really use it for my students. Do you mind just throwing it in a tank for a week? I'll use it in lab, then I'll toss it back out, So there's shared tank space.
I was just wondering.
No, it's a good question. He's not related. What was your question?
Do these sharks give live birth then, or do they lay the egg like the ones we just saw? Which kind are these again?
These are leopard sharks. These are actually live bearers. Most of the other sharks in their category lay something like those pods we saw over there. But these guys, I'm pretty sure, are live bearers.
So are they ovoviviparous though? Do they have eggs inside of them that like hatch and then?
I believe so. Yep. To the best of my knowledge. Any other questions? Yeah.
So, do you go out and find the pods, or do you bring in species and then wait till they bred and lay eggs or have any?
For those eggs over there, I think those were collected off of help. So those we didn't have the parents for. They're getting a little mad. They are excited.
We're gonna feed them.
Yeah, let's move on to the next.